Dear Martin, this video is for you. I'm going to use your name because you don't go by your name, you go by your channel name, and I don't think anybody will know or connect the dots who you are unless you want me to advertise your channel. Love, love, love to do it. I'd love to put a link towards your channel and point you out and let everybody know, hey, there's one really great guy. Um, to anybody else that's watching this channel, you have financially sent me money twice now. And um, ironically, a lot of my past experiences and the hell that I went through was my ex husband by the name of Martin. And ironically, the one person on the planet that's financially supporting me in the direction that I feel is important is also named Martin. Karma's very, very interesting because that name and the associations that I've attached in my brain and all of the memories um, really reflects that a name is just a name, and events are just events, and um, how we perceive things are sometimes way off and don't make any sense whatsoever, because why would you even associate somebody's name with an experience you had with somebody completely different? But it was big enough to um, slap me in the face and attach a good memory to somebody by the name of Martin. Now, Martin, um, I really, really feel it's important to share um, the goodness that people put out in the world. And I want you to understand that just to go and check my bank account and see there's a nice surprise of some support was like, it's one thing to go in and get a paycheck and, you expect a paycheck, there's no surprise or whatever, but to have the joy of receiving um, financial support in this way is so much more life fulfilling than going into work and collecting a paycheck. Um, just all of the love attached to it, all aspects of it. It's like you can believe in magic, you can believe in dreams, and just out of nowhere things can just pop up. And I think that is an important thing for all of us to sort of experience, because if you don't have that feeling that things can just show up, people can just support you out of the blue, then you don't know how to feel what that feels like so that you can create and create more of it. And I've had the experience of sometimes a plan so well, what the end result is. But I ended up finding out in my life experience that if you don't analyze things too well, you just sort of look and trust in the magic of it. It's the magic that ends up being better than whatever plan I ever had. So um, it was a really, really amazing experience, a memory in my life that I will never forget, will always be a massive anchor into my life experience. And how I view the world will always be impacted by how those few days and still today feels when I see that I'm being financially supported. And at the same time, it's like, okay, you get a little bit of financial support. Where do you spend the money? It's like you weren't counting on it. What do I do? And it's like, okay, money is a tease. You can have this big, huge, long list of, okay, do you save the money? I mean, what do you do with the money? And for me, I think my whole message is about we all have to listen to ourselves, build yourself up first, because you're no good to anybody unless you're looking after yourself. And that's what everybody needs to do. And sleep happens to be extremely important. that is a time that your computer, your brain puts the logic all together. If you want a good idea, then how you go to sleep, how comforting your sleep, the level of sleep you have, and how you wake up the next day is extremely important. And I haven't had a bad in, I can't remember. And I have muscle problems and joint problems, which is no problem. But if I don't get good sleep, then it affects them. And so that's why I know, really comfortable bed really helps a lot. I gave up my bedrooms for my kids. I slept on the couch for most of the time that I was raising my kids in the last 10 years. And then when I ended up even losing the little bit that I had, I bought used stuff, and this bed is so friggin' uncomfortable. But it's, a nice, clean, single bed, but I could use some foam on there. And just with, I am just dreaming about how comfortable it's going to be to get into bed. And then it's opened up an idea of getting another computer in the house. It's enough of a financial support where I could afford to get started another account, which puts two computers in the house. And it also, I can get a bus pass, and I'm thinking of joining the gym because I know from my past experiences that I'm really, really productive when I have a very good rounded schedule. So I do need to quit smoking, and if I quit smoking, then I can afford to pay for the payments of another computer. And I know that I need to get myself out of this house. Yeah, like if you have no income, everything costs money. So to do anything and to go for a walk in the same street, or like, it just is a little boring. And I need to get my muscles in shape. And doing it at home is one thing, but I need to get myself out into society and breathing fresh air. And so I'm thinking of joining a gym. Um, which is what I started doing at the very beginning of this channel, is having a good workout and a good routine is really, really important in developing a healthy mind and having a good schedule. I work really well when I'm forced to get out of the house and have a good workout at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. The computer, I can't do the kind of work I am because it's a shared computer. But getting my own computer means that I can get on my own schedule. I can do the type of videos that I want to do. And I also want to work on starting off a web site that will start collecting some data that we need, that creates a new network. Um, we want to make some changes in our world, but we need to build a network of people. We need to see a lot of information on problems, and we have a lot of information we need to share on solutions. And it's sort of time to take things to another level, and what that takes is a lot of work in the computer. So um, to me, the amount that you've donated to me is huge, because what I can do with that is huge. At the same time as it's not massive to rock my world, and we're still in the same boat. But you've uplifted me to take everything to another level. While I was asking, because last week or so I've been saying, okay, God, what can you do for me next? How can I possibly take this to another level? And um, so it was a process where I was just letting go and letting God and seeing what comes up. And lo and behold, I checked my bank account, and there's a nice little um, financial donation. And it was just the right amount to keep me very busy for at least another full year, and probably improve my health, and probably give a lot better information the more my health improves, which is better sleep. And but I hope, if anything, too, it's an example that everybody needs to start putting themselves out there, and everybody else needs to be supporting everybody else. I really love your emails, and if anything, on top of everything else, to know that I put something positive out into the world that in any way, shape, or form improved your life or improved your perspective or benefited your life in any way, shape, or form that you felt that you needed to support me is worth so much more to me. It's like gives me a reason to get up in the morning, gives me a reason to um, say, okay, this is not so far off, or really makes me feel like I'm connected with something that's really, really positive. So it's not the dollar, the amount, the contribution. Um, to see that it worked for you, or there's some benefit to you, gave me the value that ultimately that's what we're all looking for, is what can you put out into the world that has a value to somebody else. And so those words are like, that's the gold. That and that is, something that we all kind of need to do is develop yourself and your skill that can change somebody's life so much that it makes them so grateful to support you. Like when you get yourself at your fullest potential, that you have something so massively valuable, the universe has to have it, then you've developed yourself. And it's a process. Accept yourself failing, which is what I do. I'm okay with failing, but that is my goal, because as soon as I see that there's a sign of, hey, you're doing something good, then you want to do more of it. And that's the path that we all need to get on. And is if you see somebody on a good path, let them know, and so that they will know what more to do of. Like as soon as you know what's good, you'll do more of what's good. But if we're putting out nothing but complaints towards everybody, and we're not supporting anybody else, we're not letting anybody know what direction to go into, we're not letting anybody know what is good, what we do support. um, so you do point in a direction when you do support somebody else out. And when you're looking for support for yourself, you got to support other people. So, Martin, you are one amazing human being. Your girlfriend's really lucky. I really wish you would share what your dreams are. I wish I could support you even more. I'm dying to know how I can do even more, but here's what you've done for me, and hopefully in the next year I can do something really, really good with the support you've given me. Something that doesn't just include me, but that's good for everybody. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Love ya. Bye bye.